Yo, check it. Welcome back to another podcast episode. Happy Mondays. My name is JERiCK.
My name is Noelle.
Hi, Noelle. I'm Rafi.
Hey, fellas.
What's up?
What is up?
How's everybody doing in the quarantine days?
Yes.
Well,
surviving.
As you can see, as
And
you can tell,
thriving.
my voice is a little hoarse, but
Oh
I'm
my
alive.
goodness. He's got it.
I'm tired.
We're all stuck in here.
I have 4 days
yeah.
left of being alive. Just kidding.
We are not 6 feet apart, but that's a chance I'm willing to take because I love my yocheckit family.
It's
So
also
you're
Sunday
welcome.
night slow jam, so
That is also true.
Ooh. So it's going to be a good episode tonight is what you're saying.
darn.
Cool. I guess we'll just get on with it.
What are we talking about today?
Yeah, what's the top of top?
Today's topic is you don't get what you want, you get what you are.
Ooh.
I had to. I'm sorry.
Oh, man. JERiCK, interesting topic.
I know. I texted you guys this last night, and
I did not do my homework and
Did you
not prepare
guys-
for this.
did you guys understand
Yeah.
the phrase?
Yeah.
I mean, it immediately intrigued me. So again, it was, you don't get what you want, you get what you are.
So it's kind of like the law of attraction.
Yes.
Yeah. Kind of.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it is love of attraction.
So I read that. I was intrigued. I didn't really understand it. So I asked JERiCK if he would care to elaborate with examples. And he did. Do you want to share those? Or do you want to just kind of freestyle and share your thoughts?
I think we can just freestyle. I mean,
I'm good at
share
freestyling.
I could share the example that I sent you guys last night.
Yeah. Do it.
Please.
I think one of the example is this is just a very basic example. Let's talk about, let's say, because you know how people want to lose weight.
Yeah, I feel like that's every woman's life. I mean,
True.
Yeah.
A lot of women probably would want that.
Where I feel like men maybe potentially, I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but do men face the same image standards as women do?
In a way, yes.
They're probably
But-
just less vocal about it, but yeah.
Less vocal about it, but not as extreme, probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think as men, we don't really get viewed in a physical way as much as women does.
Yeah.
So it's less pressure for us. I mean, obviously,
Society has made it that way, so.
Meaning like the dad bod is glorified or...
Hey, I'm all about that. Just kidding.
no, I feel like, I guess when dad bud's in, but I think
Is
it really?
I feel like that's not true.
a lot of women probably prefer a more leaner.
I don't know.
Physique?
Okay, so...
I mean, let me just give the example before we get into the deep stuff.
Yeah.
Because people want to lose weight, but they don't necessarily do the things to lose the weight. People just want it. People want 6-pack abs, but if in order to do that, you gotta do some
Yeah,
crazy,
they don't want to do
intense diet.
the 1,000 crunches, yeah.
Yeah, the 1,000 crunches, the
Okay.
the diet, the exercise.
Yeah, that makes
So I
sense.
think people just want stuff,
Yeah.
but they're not willing to be that type of person that gets to lose the weight.
Okay, like
Or just in
meaning
anything.
they could just wish and wish and wish and wish for something, but in order to manifest actual results in a person's life, they have to take action steps in order to fulfill that wish.
Yeah, that, and I feel
Yeah.
like it takes more energy. It requires more energy spent towards that goal or direction for it to to really manifest in a real sense.
Yeah, because like you know how people always say like, oh yeah, I want to be a millionaire, but a lot of people are not doing the millionaire lifestyle. You know?
Yeah.
Is there such a lifestyle that would make it easy for people to achieve their dreams?
I mean, you got to be disciplined. Like, if you want to be a millionaire, then you better be working a lot.
Right.
And
I
I
mean-
think people are kind of think that a lot of things are easy. You know, like, oh, I
Okay.
just want to lose weight, but I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to eat right. I don't want to eat. I don't want to do that. I want to make $1 million, but I don't want to work on the weekends
Or learn,
or learn anything, or I don't want to start my own business. It's like one of those things that people are just kind of like wishful thinking.
Yeah. And there's also the time in between. Okay. There's so many places that this could go right now. Rafi, do you find yourself wanting things that you have not yet achieved?
Ooh, damn, that's a deep question.
Ooh, we're just gonna call people's bullshit right now. Let's go.
Darn.
Well, this is the topic, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wanting things that there are certain things that I want that I know I'm not ready for yet.
And what is that?
I don't know. Like, I feel like I have an idea of what a partner for me should be, but I feel like I'm not worthy of that yet. There's still some things that I need to work towards before I myself can feel like I deserve somebody like that. You know what I'm saying? That's just like the first example I can think of.
Right.
Yeah,
Thank
because
you
you
for
know when
sharing.
we're kind of texting back about like I texted you guys like, oh, people want a 10, they want to date a 10, and being a 10 doesn't necessarily mean like physical, but
Right,
it's just
right.
like an overall 10, I guess.
That's a good way to put it. So like I know I deserve a 10, but maybe I feel like I'm at an 8 right now, and I'm working towards getting to a 10.
Yeah.
Or 8.5, whatever. You know what I mean? Just like a figure of speech.
Yeah.
So, in that example of scaling a person, whether it be a potential significant other
Yeah.
or ourselves, what would constitute a 10? Because it's different for everyone, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's very subjective
It's
for whatever
very
a 10 is
subjective.
for you.
So, meaning, since we're all single in this room,
Yeah.
then is a 10, what would be a 10 for another person? And in regards to someone that you want to attract in your life
Yeah.
as a significant other, what would a 10 look like if it's not all about physical
Oh,
attributes?
yeah, absolutely. The physical is probably the last thing I'm worried about. Obviously, that's like that's like something that is on everyone's mind, but because it's so obvious, I tend to focus on the other stuff.
Yeah.
So for me, it'd be like, I need someone that I can connect on an intellectual level, who I can discuss things with, because my perspectives aren't always conventional. Matter of fact, they're very unconventional. My mindset, my beliefs are somewhat unconventional. So I need someone who can not necessarily keep up, but it's just on the
Share the same beliefs.
same vibration, same frequency. You know what I mean? And someone who is equally as passionate about things that I'm passionate about, but maybe she's passionate about other things, but just as with the same level of, like, you know what I mean, passion for, maybe she's into art, like painting or drawing, and that's the same passion I have for dance. You know what I mean? Like, just somebody on the same frequency or vibration.
I mean, creativity is huge to
Right.
find someone who is passionate about creating the life of their dreams. That's magically delicious in my world. So that I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
JERiCK, what about you? What constitutes a 10? What are you looking for?
They better be as busy as JERiCK.
You know, the funny thing is, that's why I wanted to talk about this, because I realized something about myself. So, funny story is, the past few people that I've gotten dates with, for some reason, they're super busy, dude. Like, and that's why I was kind of like looking at myself, because I believe in this quote that you don't get what you want, you get what you are. Basically, you attract what you are.
Yeah.
So like all these girls that I went on dates with are super busy, and it seems like they're not ready for a relationship, or it seems like that's not in their priority list. And then I was kind of looking back at myself. I was like, why am I attracting all these girls that are super busy?
Because you're super busy.
And then I'm like, oh, am I really that busy? Am I not making time? I thought I was.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to like look or recalibrate a little bit, because maybe I'm not giving enough space for that special person.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. So what you're saying is that a 10 in your life would be someone who has their own
Shit together.
passions and their own desires and pursuits, and you see yourself able to merge with that,
Yeah.
and vice versa.
Yeah. I think for me a 10, I mean obviously there's a lot of qualities, but like probably on the top is somebody that's kind of pursuing something that they're passionate about. It doesn't matter if I'm into it or not, but I think for me it's really attractive when somebody's really passionate about something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sort of inspired.
Like even if I'm not into it, like I think I can just still appreciate like how people like stuff that they like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that is the bread and butter of life, is being able to be open-minded enough to hear a person out for what they are passionate about, and to let them actually speak about it. Because speaking about something for me that I'm extremely passionate about, it makes me very vulnerable, and to actually be able to articulate those ideas into a way that then I don't have to worry about whether it's being received by others. I'm just openly sharing who I am. And for people to then receive that is comes from a place with myself that I have to be 100% okay with whatever a person's reaction may be, and to just share it because that's who I am.
Yep. That's why when I go on dates, I never really ask about their work, because most of the time they're not really into their work. I just ask about like their hobbies.
Most people hate their jobs. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, unless they love their job, then I'll talk about that. But aside from that, I don't necessarily talk about work stuff.
Yeah. It's not the most interesting conversation.
Yeah. Because I normally ask them like, hey, what do you like to do for fun? Because I think it makes them want to talk. Because, people like to talk about their stuff,
Yeah, I mean, the relationships are about sharing and listening, and then elaborating off of that ping pong of energy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like that sound, dude.
I don't know which one to say, but I felt that was necessary then. Yeah, so, okay, going back to body image, I feel, one, being that I have a pageant coming up, and as a part of my homework, I've been researching different pageants that are currently happening, and I saw Miss Grand International, and meaning every gorgeous woman from every single country on one stage in tiny bikinis, just looking perfect. Yeah, I know. That was me in my room on my laptop, just like.
Oh, do the pink.
The pink one?
Yeah. That's what you felt.
Yes, and I loved it. I loved it. One, because to be able to be a part of something so incredibly jaw-dropping and powerful is an honor. And two, it frickin' lit a fire under my ass to really see what my potential could be. And just how these women carry themselves across a stage and not thinking like, oh, it's like, oh gosh, like, how do I look? Like, what am I going to say? Like, even though, like, it's almost like they've crafted themselves, that's their job. And to actually be on stage where everything blacks out and it's like that moment where you just have to
become the
go.
pageant. Yeah.
They become who they are because it's like you can't hide anything at that point. And the skill and their craft that they've worked so hard on, you can tell.
Yeah, it's probably a certain level, like a comfort level too, that's pretty high, I would assume.
To be so accepting of yourself in order to be literally judged.
Like, right. In front of the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that was really inspiring. And it, like I said, it motivated me to know what my potential when it comes to my body and how I carry myself, what that can be. And it's exciting. I could see where it could have been almost like a deal breaker where I could have easily said, I'm not up to those standards. I'm not good enough, blah, 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 and just talked myself out of it. But for me, I chose to empower myself with it and to be motivated and to try my best to be able to love myself enough to know that whatever I may look like, I just want to know that I've gave it my all, and I want to feel so confident when I do hit this stage, whenever that is. So meaning that takes preparation. And then it comes back to taking those action steps in order to manifest those dreams.
Yeah, circle back to like, you don't get what you want, but you get what you are. Like you got that title because you became that person that is ready to be, what is it, Miss Nevada International? Mm-hmm. Did I say that right?
You did.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry, we just needed a round of applause from the one. Sorry.
Round of applause.
Yeah, so.
But yeah, is there any other instances? Because you talked about yours. I kind of talked about mine. Where you kind of wanted something but haven't gotten it or haven't attracted it because you're not that person yet.
Oh, is that?
Because like for me, another story for me too is like I remember, I think in my early 20s, I was pretty chubby. Because I was in a relationship, so you know what happens in a relationship.
Yeah.
You get comfortable. You just eat, and then you eat her leftovers. Yeah. So you just get a little chubby, fluffy.
Oh, the wrong one.
It's the green one. The green one.
Yeah, that's the one. I'm having too much fun with JERiCK's new equipment. I'm sorry.
But yeah. So. Yeah, I got a little carried away with that, so I gained the weight, and then I remember when I turned 27, I got my heart broken, so I decided to just lose the weight. My goal was to get to like 160, because I was planning to go to the Philippines for vacation, so I was 188 at the time, and my goal was 160 before I go to the Philippines. So, I mean, before this, like I always wanted to lose weight, but I was full of shit. Like I didn't do anything. I didn't go to the gym. I didn't eat right. So
what made you want to lose the weight?
I got my heart broken. I just wanted to prove myself.
Did you feel that your weight was a factor in the end of the relationship?
No, it wasn't. It was just kind of like...
Is it a personal thing? Personal thing?
Yeah, it was a personal goal for me of like, I'll prove you. You know, it's kind of like my ego, and obviously it wasn't the right thing to do at the time. But to circle back, it was just I wanted to lose weight, but I had to become that person that actually loses weight.
Yeah.
You know, so I actually hit that goal in like 3 months. So I lost 28 pounds in 3 months. Yes. Yeah, so I lost that 28 pounds in 3 months.
That's huge.
I had to do some extreme stuff. Like I had to go to the gym probably like 5-6 times a week. I was barely eating. Not very sustainable lifestyle for sure. But I think during that time I just wanted to reach that goal. And when I reached it, I was just like, okay, cool. That was it was like a learning experience for me. That's why I think the gym actually taught me a lot, even though I hated it. Because hard work really pays off, you know? Like, you got to be disciplined with what you do.
Cliche for a reason,
I know.
folks. Living proof.
Yeah, I mean, I gained a little bit more weight than now, but I don't care much about my weight as much as I used to.
Were there times where you wanted to give up and...
Every day.
Okay.
I was like, I hated this. Like, I want to eat all this.
Then what was the motivating factor to keep you going?
I mean, I had a goal that I wanted to reach, and I think I just kind of tunnel vision towards it. It's like, I just need to hit 160. I mean, at least, like, for me, I had a friend of mine that was, like, kind of doing the same thing, too. Like, he had a goal, so it was, like, a little bit easier when you have, like, a gym buddy. Mm-hmm. Like, we both
accountability partner.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Like, we had goals. He was trying to gain weight, gain muscle, but for me, I just wanted to lose. So, like, you know, we'd go to the gym every single day. Yeah.
Gotcha. That question was kind of hard because most of the things I can think of are like things that I did manifest. So, like, thinking about something that I wanted that haven't gotten yet was.
Or let's talk about maybe the one that you've gotten then, if you can't think of the ones that you haven't gotten.
Yeah, a goal that you've reached, which was hard to attain, but you've managed to do so.
Because you had to become that person.
I think when I went on my spiritual journey, I was confused because, all right, so if you guys don't know this about me, you can call me, I don't know if you want to label me a conspiracy theorist, but I really I look into a lot of that stuff, and I spend like actual time researching information. So it's not just me watching videos on YouTube and all of a sudden I believe it. You know what I mean? Like it takes some actual like thought before I jump into something or believe something completely. And at first it was really confusing for me because I was like, damn, is this how ugly the world is? Is all this shit really happening? Like, and I'm just supposed to sit here and take it? But then I didn't realize how liberating that can be, that once I broke out of the mold or my personal matrix that I saw that I was in, how liberating it was and how positive it could be. Because then now, once I figured out the messed up stuff and once I figured everything out, I was able to then focus everything on what I wanted to focus on. I was able to focus on my happiness. I was able to focus on a healthy mindset. I was able to focus on basically anything because then all the worries stopped. Once I figured out all the bad shit, I was like, well, there's no point in me dwelling in that. So now I could just literally live my life and not even be affected or be fazed by the negative BS that I've seen or that I've learned about. So in that way, it was very liberating for me up here.
Because you basically have to become that person. Yeah. And I think that should be kind of like fuck, I forgot what I was going to say.
So why did oh gosh, I think I just forgot what I was going to ask you.
Forgot
just
our question.
We're just forgetting everything now.
Okay, so why did that quote, whenever you saw it, why did that resonate with you so much in order to completely change who you were as a person?
Because I mean, if you asked me this a few years ago, I would have told you, like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, I don't understand that phrase, or I don't understand that quote. But now that I'm kind of living that lifestyle where you're basically accountable for everything you do.
I love it. Radical ownership is
Just be responsible. Like,
amazing. Bless you.
I know, like, that's a very simple example, like, oh, going to the gym and losing weight. Like, you basically have to be that person that a gym head or whatever, like, eat healthy, exercise
Right.
in order to lose that weight. And same for, like, if you want to be a millionaire, like, obviously I'm not a millionaire, like, I'm not there yet, but it's like basically have to work pretty hard, like, people can't. Because I feel like people just wish things
Yeah.
and waiting for it
They
to
don't
happen.
realize how much work it takes to get to
Yeah.
the goal.
So, like, especially when it comes to dating, like, I hear all this, not just girls, but guys too. Like, oh, I want somebody this and that. Like, oh, I want this quality, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Like, doesn't matter what it is. And then I'm looking at them, like, I don't want to judge people, but like when people say like, oh, I want this and that, I'm just kind of thinking myself. I'm like, well, you're not that type of person.
Right.
Like,
Right.
like, you're not ready to date that type
It's
of person
like
that you want.
You want a certain thing, but are you doing anything for you to be deserving of someone with that quality?
Yeah, like,
because it's a reciprocation thing, especially in relationships.
Well, it's there's an example that I've heard before, and you can only hold as much as you can hold. So if you have a teacup in a rainstorm and you want to have enough water to fill an entire pool, but you literally only have a cup, like, that's all you can hold. And that may sound extremely pessimistic, but it's like, if you can't appreciate that teacup that you can fill, why would
what is the pool
you
gonna
be
do
ready
for,
for more if you can't appreciate the little things that you do already have?
yeah, because think as an example, when like girls say like, oh, I want this, I want a guy that has shit together, and he has money, he has all this and all that, and then when you look at the girl, you're like, but what do you offer? Like, if you do get that guy, like, you're just gonna get exposed that you don't have your shit together. Like, no, like, the guy that has their shit together or a girl that has their shit together is not gonna date somebody that's don't have their shit together.
Right.
Yeah,
it goes for both male and female. So it's like, I'm not just saying that girls are like doing this, doing that, but
that's what I mean. Like, it's a reciprocation. Like, for you to be worthy of somebody with the qualities that you want, it has to balance. You have, it's a balance.
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you have to present yourself, or you have to get to a certain level where you guys can balance each other out. So if that person gets to a point where he's needing that particular quality at the moment, you have to be able to reciprocate that, right? For that to work properly.
And it's okay too, because like, everybody has their own stages in life. Like, if you're at the stage where you just want to have fun, have party, doing all that, like, that's fine too. Like, I've been there before.
Right. But you're not going to attract somebody serious.
Yeah. Like, if, exactly. Like, if you're still at that party phase, you're not going to find the guy that's like ready to settle down unless you're ready to settle down yourself.
Right.
Yeah, I agree that people need to be established in who they are in order to attract someone that the type of person that they're wanting and calling in their lives. So if a person wants a family but isn't ready to have a family in this moment, they're not going to attract someone who's ready to have a family too, that is not in that stage, unless they're in that same stage of planning for something greater.
Yeah.
Meaning that foundation is malleable, malleable, meaning that it's moving and it's changing. And if someone has desires for something and you do as well, then I could see where then that can be a slow process to get on that same page to actually make it work in a sustainable way that will last and be successful. Because it takes time and it takes effort in order to get a desired result, whatever that may be, whether that be going to the gym and getting the body of your dreams or pursuing a successful life for yourself, whatever that may be. It takes time and it takes energy and it takes effort.
Exactly. Any other thoughts on this topic?
I mean, or how far are we going with this? We're already at 30 minutes right here.
Here's a personal example of something that I don't feel like I've achieved yet. Like, I really want to be somebody who's really good at meditating. And I just feel like for someone to get there, it requires a lot of time. And because it's something that I recently just started, like there's some impatience in me, but it's like that itself is bad for meditating because you're supposed to be very like
it's like
calm,
counterproductive,
right?
You know?
Right. So I still find myself even when I do get to meditate, my mind is still racing. Sometimes it takes a little bit for me to quiet my own mind. So for me to be really good at it, one, it's gonna require me meditating a lot more and being freer mentally. So that's something that I want, but I don't feel like I've achieved yet. Just as a personal example, personal goal.
Yeah. How about you, Noelle?
So we're talking about things that we want that we haven't achieved yet.
Yeah.
Or something that you want that you achieved because you kind of already talked about that.
I mean, going back towards a okay, so I believe in the saying that the only constant is change. So I've embraced that fact of being able to constantly be in a state of change. And with that change, hence why I've created Grow with the Flow, because it's something that I've made a life out of. And for me, my body image and my self-acceptance has been such a lifelong journey that I'll always have. And I feel like now I've gotten to the point where I can appreciate my body and love my body, and now use it in a way. How do I say this? I'm getting passionate about this. Oh my god. Yeah, just I love my body, and there was a time in my life that I loved it, but I was being really horrible to it. And it's crazy to look back at. I played for the LFL, which was the Legends Football League, and it was all about women playing full-on tackle in lingerie. And I wanted to do it because I saw how much respect that it garnished from my fellow friends, and I saw how powerful these women were and how it blended two worlds of masculinity and femininity, and I loved it and I wanted to be a part of it. So I pursued it. I moved to Seattle. I tried out, and out of 8 rookies, I was one of the rookies to make it. And my body got crushed. It got destroyed. And at the same time, I was living with an eating disorder because I wanted to look perfect in the uniform.
Yeah.
And so I just didn't know how to take care of my body well in order to sustain that much impact from the physical exertion I was using. and at the same time to replenish my body. I just didn't know what that balance was. So I was all super off kiltered in that regards. And there was a point in my life where I literally believed that I wouldn't ever be able to live without an eating disorder. I was like throwing up everything because eating was comforting for me. And
Throwing up everything by choice.
yeah. Mm-hmm. And woo. And yeah, looking back, it's like I knew it wasn't sustainable because I was guilty. I mean, I didn't feel good about myself for doing that because my body was it was not having any of it.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to be able to find a healthy relationship. What did a self-accepting version of Noelle look like? And I went on that journey, and I explored those options. I took every possibility, everything that I could possibly think of in order to change that state that I was in order to regenerate and to create a new life for myself. And I wasn't ever scared to try anything new because at that point I was like, nothing I'm doing is working, so let's try other options.
Yeah.
And so I always wanted to keep exploring because I knew that wasn't it. And so I was gracious with myself enough to explore more options and to find then a healthy relationship with food, a healthy relationship with how I viewed my body. Like, even though I don't have a six-pack, I love what it does for me. I love what it's capable of doing for me. And I love all of it. Like, I've learned, because I had to realize what being horrible to it felt like and was like in order to actually fall in love with it and know how much I do love being good to it.
It seems like, pertaining to what you're talking about, it was definitely more than just physical. It was mentally, spiritually. You had to get there. Yeah.
Do you feel like you're there now?
I don't have an eating disorder now. Are
you happy with your body, your mental state?
Yeah.
At the moment.
I mean, at the moment, yeah, I'm, first of all, thank you for letting me speak this out. I'm proud of myself for having the courage to continually push forward and to continually be authentic to myself and to take care of myself, even though looking back, and I did have an eating disorder, and I did, I still loved myself enough to pursue my dreams. And I was just trying to find what worked for me, and so I'm proud of that. Really am.
Thank you for sharing that, by the way, because that's
sharing.
something that comes from like pain and growth. We can tell just from, the passion that it drew from you. So thank you for sharing that.
And I think to go back full circle, like I think that's why you got the title of Miss Nevada International.
Yeah.
Because you were ready. You're
ready. Look at you now.
Because look at you now. Like, I don't think if this was a few years ago, like, I don't think you would have received that title because mentally or maybe physically, I don't know, maybe you're not ready for it. Yeah. But now that you're living that life of something that deserves to be the Miss Nevada International.
Just some like personal insight. I've known Noelle for maybe about 2 years now, and just from literally when I first met you, when you walked in that studio, to now, like, you have come such a long way, like especially spiritually and mentally, more so that than anything. Because I mean, I've always thought you were beautiful. So, but just like where you are now and how strong you are mentally, like, it's amazing how far you come.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, can we hear it for Noelle, please?
But yeah, I think that was. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, thank you.
I think that's all I have for this episode. That was great.
Whew, some deep stuff. Some deep,
That was
deep
very
stuff.
deep.
That's what she said.
I know. It's the other one. It's
Oh,
the
I
teal.
thought it was a bad joke. I'm sorry.
I mean, the teal is a bad joke too.
Oh. There we go. I wish you guys could see this cool new thing that JERiCK has.
Cool.
Anyway,
Thank
sorry.
you, Rafi, for that acknowledgement. That means a lot, and I'm excited that we all get to take this journey together. And our vibe does attract our tribe, and I'm really glad to be a part of this.
I
tribe.
don't know. Maybe this is fitting because I feel like I've been wanting to tell you that. I don't know why I didn't in person, but maybe this podcast brought it out of me or reminded
now's
me.
the time, dude.
Yeah.
But any final thoughts before I drop this mic?
Ladies first.
I will say that keep going. If you're not exactly if you're not exactly where you think that you need to be in order to be considered successful, just trying and living and breathing is a success. Yeah. And if I could give any advice, it'd be to appreciate everything that you have in life and the support that you have in life. And it's all a gift and it's a blessing. So keep going, don't give up, and grow with the flow.
Oh, nice plug.
Drop the mic.
I think let's just end it with that. Unless you have something else to say.
I was just going to say too, I feel like we're all constantly striving to be better, and it's something that should never stop. It's something that shouldn't discourage you. I feel like the journey is just as important, if not more, than the destination.
That's definitely.
I've always believed in that.
Yeah.
Like, you need to appreciate how long you've come. Look at whatever you're passionate about. Look at something that you're good at, a skill, whatever. Look at how far you've come. How many years ago did you start doing whatever it is you were doing? Appreciate that. And that'll help fuel your growth even more. I promise you that.
Yeah, because, I mean, once you level up, you'll attract all the whatever comes with that.
You also get hungrier to just get better. So
Exactly.
It's like, yeah.
I think that's it.
That's a good way to end it, man.
Mic drop.
We don't have a mic drop sound yet.
But anyways, yeah. Cool. That's it for YoCheckit podcast.
Wait. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and be part of the YoCheckit tribe.
Peace.